everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back with another subscriber requested video for you. So I was recently asked to talk about long-lasting fragrances. So I've got 10 here from my collection. I will say like 98% of the fragrances that I have in my collection are long-lasting. So I literally could have picked out any 10 because I typically don't like fragrances that don't last very long. I don't mind if they wear off after maybe like, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. I'm okay with, because I really don't mind reapplying a fragrance, but I get super frustrated with fragrances that I just like spray on and they're immediately gone. Or that last less than an hour, or anything really less than like 3 hours, I just don't fool with. But anyways, these are 10 fragrances, and I tried to stick to more cold weather fragrances just because for a lot of us it's cold out now. So yeah, these are 10 fragrances from my collection that are particularly long lasting. These are some of the longest lasting fragrances for me. Of course, this is going to depend on you, your skin chemistry. I don't think any of these that I'm going to talk about, I've ever heard anybody else say that they don't last except for one. There is one that I've heard some people say it doesn't last for them, but for me, it's super long lasting. But anyways, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to start with this one here, YSL Libre. Literally any formulation of this except for the eau de toilette. The eau de toilette is not nearly as long lasting as the rest of them. I do reserve that one for the summertime because it is a lighter version of the fragrance in general. It's funny because this is a fragrance that I didn't realize there were so many people out there that do not like this perfume, and I get it. A lot of them say it's just too masculine for them. And it's funny because the first time I ever wore this, I got a carded sample of it. It was right after it released. Sorry, this is the intense version. This is my favorite version of this fragrance. So I usually always pull out the intense when I'm talking about this, but it was the original one, just the original eau de parfum that was released. That was the one that I tested. And I remember when I tested that one feeling like it smelled like the original men's Polo Sport cologne to me. And not exactly like it, but it definitely had some similarities to the original Polo Sport cologne for men that came in the blue bottle. My first and really only other serious boyfriend besides my husband wore that cologne. That was like his signature cologne. So I know that smell anywhere. And I remember when I tested that fragrance feeling like I smelled like Polo Sport. But I loved it. It wasn't like so much, because Libre is way sweeter and it is different. It's a women's fragrance that has masculine undertones, but I understand where people think that it smells masculine because it reminds me of a cologne. But I love it. I love how sweet and syrupy and warm and cozy, but at the same time so perfumey. It just smells like a modern perfume masterpiece to me. It smells like a modern, and I'm not going to compare it to Dior Poison because it doesn't smell anything like Poison, and I'm not saying that they smell alike, but as far as like the way that Poison was perceived and worn and the way that Poison was to its era, I feel like this perfume is to the modern era, if that makes sense. It's so hard for me to explain. I just love it though. I do think it's like a modern designer masterpiece. I think it's gonna be a fragrance that I will wear literally for the rest of my life because I just love it, but it is super, super long lasting. I got way off on a tangent, you guys, I'm so sorry. But it is so long lasting and so beautiful. But it's funny, so many people hate this. I didn't realize it. So anyways, that is YSL Libre. That is the intense formulation. Okay, next we have a Gallagher fragrances. This is Gallagher fragrances Rosé All Day. One of the longest lasting perfumes in my collection. This is an absolute monster of a fragrance. This is probably the priciest. I've only got 2 kind of expensive fragrances on this in this list, and this is one of the pricier ones. but for the quality and the fact that you really only need a few sprays of this and you will literally smell like this for 24 hours, it is incredible. This is apple crisp, plum, dark rose, brown sugar, tonka bean, and it says stainless steel, but I hate a metallic note, so I don't get any kind of a metallic note from this. From what I understand, if I remember correctly, I think I read on their website that they actually make the perfume or blend the perfume like in a stainless steel vat maybe, and that's where like the metallic note comes from. So it's not anything that's actually like added to the fragrance, if I remember correctly, but it's beautiful. This is like a plummy brown sugar rose fragrance. It definitely does ride the line between like gourmand and perfumey, but it's got enough rose in it that it keeps it from being totally gourmand. It's like an apple crisp with like a brown sugar strudel on top and like dried rose petals on the table, if that makes sense. Beautiful, super, super long lasting. One of my favorites. So anyways, that is Gallagher Rosé All Day. This is the other one that some people don't have great luck with, La Belle. I don't know about the intense version. I have had people say that the original version, just the original eau de parfum, does not last on them. And both of them are absolute monsters on me, so I don't have that experience. These are monsters on me. They're not going to work for everybody. Jean Paul Gaultier fragrances, they either work for you or they don't. If they don't work on your skin, then probably the whole line won't work for you. That's how the Scandal line is for me. I can't wear any of the Scandal fragrances. They just don't work on my skin, or they used to not. They might now. Probably not though. Anyways, this is La Belle. This is the Eau de Parfum Intense. And I love this. This is the most beautiful like pear, vanilla, tonka, vetiver fragrance. It's dark, it's syrupy, it's warm, it's perfect for the winter time, especially this formulation. And it is super, super long lasting. Again, especially this formulation. This thing is an absolute monster on me. I will smell like this for 24 hours. My clothes will smell like this forever. It's a stunning fragrance. So yeah, super, super long lasting. I've never had a Jean Paul Gaultier fragrance not be an absolute monster on me, whether it be La Belle Classique, even the Gaultier 2, they are absolute monsters on my skin. The house just overall, I feel like is crazy long lasting. So anyways, that is Jean Paul Gaultier La Belle Le Parfum Intense. Okay, next we're going to talk about a Chloe fragrance. This is the Chloe Nomade Absolute de Parfum. Now I do believe that they have discontinued this one. I pulled this one because this is the one I wear in the colder weather. The original Nomade could definitely be substituted for this though, because these are absolute monster fragrances. The original Nomade, this absolute or absolu version, these are crazy, crazy long lasting fragrances. I have really good luck with Chloe as far as performance goes, like the original Chloe and all of the flankers. I think the only one that didn't last it lasted well, it just didn't project for a very long time, was the Lumiere version of the original Chloe fragrance. That's the only one that hasn't been just an absolute monster on me. Every other Chloe fragrance that I've got in my collection is just an absolute beast. Super, super long lasting. The Nomad fragrance is so good too for people that just aren't into like super floral perfumes. You're not into gourmands. You just want to smell like classy and warm and nice. And you don't particularly want to smell like anything like in general. This is a great fragrance. This has, this one, I think these are kind of considered like modern chypre fragrances because they do have oak moss in them. But this one in particular is quite sweet. They've both got Mirabelle plum in them. And they've got some florals in there, but they've got this really beautiful, very light kind of muskiness to them. They're kind of sweet, they're kind of clean. They're super, super nice fragrances. I love Chloe Nomade, and I feel like it doesn't get
the attention that it deserves. It's just a great fragrance. It's a great alternative fragrance for people that just aren't into like florals or kind of the more popular scent profiles that most people are drawn to these days. This is like almost opposite of those. So anyways, super long lasting, absolute monster. Love this fragrance. This is Chloe Nomade Absolu de Perfume. Okay, this next one, this thing is such a monster. This is the Dupe version of Blanche Bette from Liquid Imaginaire. This is called milkylicious, and this is an absolute monster. This is like bombastic in every way. It's super, super sweet. It's powdery, it's vanillic, it's slightly gourmand, but at the same time, it's perfumey. It's very, very strong. It projects a very long way, and it is super long lasting. Like, you are going to smell like this in a very strong way for 10 hours, and you're going to be able to smell it on yourself for 24 hours until you wash it off. In fact, you may still smell it even after you wash it off. Again, like my intimate with vanilla fragrance, my liquid has gotten so dark. This fragrance, I don't totally remember what the color of the liquid was when I first got it, but it was not this. I don't think it was like super light, but it wasn't dark. I feel like it was, I don't know, maybe like a pale beige color, and now it's just straight up like ambery. It's so beautiful. It's so beautifully aged. I love this scent. This has got like some molecules in it. It's got some flowers. It's got something called mahonial. It's got like a jasmine-y kind of scent. It's got a tuberose note in it that is pretty, it's definitely strong, but the tuberose used to be way stronger in this version. This has gotten way closer to the original now. This used to be really tuberose heavy on my skin. Last time I wore this, it was not super tuberose heavy. And even smelling it out of the bottle, I'm not getting a ton of the tuberose. I definitely smell it, but I'm getting more of like the powdery, sweet, syrupy, kind of almondy notes more than the tuberose. But yeah, this has gotten really close to the original. And I do have a travel spray of the original scent, and I need to pull it out and test them side by side because I feel like this is probably identical at this point. It's so beautiful, but such an absolute monster of a fragrance. Probably one of the longest lasting fragrances in my collection. So anyways, that is Dupe milkylicious. Dupe makes some of the longest lasting fragrances I've ever worn. I mean, some of their fragrances are crazy long lasting. Okay, this next one that I'm going to talk about, I have not talked about this fragrance for ages, but this is one of the longest lasting like amber fragrances that I've got in my collection. This is Michael Kors Sexy Amber, and this is so beautiful. This is like, it's like a perfumey, powdery amber that kind of smells like a kind of dusty, musty, traditional amber, but it's too light and bright and floral to really fall into that category. But it does have the powderiness of like a traditional amber, but it's almost too perfumey to smell like a traditional amber. This one definitely smells quite mature. I don't think this one's going to be for everybody. It's a pretty mature scent, but I love this. There's something so cozy and comforting about this one. I love how sweet this one is. I love that it's an amber that isn't like a super traditional smelling amber. And I do kind of love that it smells like, I don't know, it smells like an older woman. Like, it smells like a fabulous elderly woman, if that makes sense. It also has a little bit of like a makeup-y kind of scent to it. I don't know. I love this fragrance. I've always loved this fragrance, but it is an absolute monster, and it is definitely on the mature side. So this is one that I would try to find maybe a sample of or something. I would definitely try to get my nose on it before like purchasing, but yeah, super long lasting, beautiful, just such a fun amber scent. So that is Michael Kors Sexy Amber. Okay, next, I could not make a video about long-lasting perfumes without talking about Angel. This is a bottle from, I believe, 1992 or 1993 that my beautiful friend Tatiana sent over to me. I am obsessed with this perfume. This is like the original dabber style bottle. I remember when Angel came in a dabber like this. This is fantastic. I mean, the new formulation of Angel cannot really do this justice. I mean, this is just, it's a masterpiece. It is perfection. It is one of the longest lasting fragrances in my collection. Anytime I wear this, like it's a commitment because which is fine. It's a commitment that I would make every single day of my life if I wasn't a perfume lover. But yeah, you're gonna smell like this for 24 hours easily. It's gonna last on clothing forever. And you're gonna smell like 1992 because that's what this smells like. It is so, oh my gosh, it's so good. The patchouli in the original formulation is so much smoother than the patchouli in the new formulation. I think a lot of people that don't like Angel have just never experienced it in its original form. And that's why they don't like it, because I do still love Angel. I do still like even the original or even the new formulation, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same as this original. So anyways, super long lasting, absolute monster of a fragrance, and I adore it. And my Angel Liqueur fragrance is the same way. Like if I spray that on, I'm going to smell like that until I wash it off the next day. Just super long lasting. You can still find bottles of the original formulation of Angel pretty darned easily on eBay. So if you're interested, definitely check it out. Or definitely like just look on eBay or even Mercari probably. They're readily available. So anyways, that is Mugler Angel. That is the original formulation of Angels. Just such an absolute gem. Okay, and then for those of you that just aren't into really heavy fragrances, you want something lighter or something floral or something more youthful smelling, but that is still going to be an absolute monster of a fragrance, Montale Rose Elixir. I think it's been renamed Rose's Elixir at this point. I don't totally know. This is a tester bottle. She's beat up. I got this bottle. I picked this up secondhand from somebody on Mercari, and she said that the bottle was damaged in shipping. It leaked, and it like basically smudged the label completely off. It made everything like chip, and it's just not in great shape, but I don't really care because the fragrance is inside is still perfect. But anyways, this is a really beautiful like strawberry rose, clean, sweet musk scent. It's not like super complex. It is very reminiscent of the original Monsieur Cherie if you took out like the caramel popcorn note and was left with everything else. That's kind of what this smells like. Such an absolute monster of a fragrance. This can be worn all year round. I prefer this one in the spring and summertime, but you could wear this anytime. It's just a perfect floral fragrance, one of the longest lasting florals that I've got in my collection. It is an absolute monster, which a lot of Montale and Mancera fragrances are just super long lasting, such good quality for being like a perfumey, sweet, youthful floral scent. It's perfection. Such a super long lasting fragrance. If you want a Dior, like a fragrance that smells kind of like a Dior fragrance, but that is a monster, this is your girl. This is such a long lasting fragrance. So anyways, that is Montale Rose Elixir. Okay, next, another floral fragrance that I've got is this one here from Dreamhouse Acurio. This is White Rabbit. I'll wear this fragrance any time of the year. I will wear this in the dead of the summer. I will wear this in the dead of the winter. Doesn't really matter. This is such an amazing scent. This is a sweet syrupy white floral that's got like a gourmand caramel note in the base. So like the first hour that you're wearing this, it's you very much get the sweet white florals. But then the deep dry down is the most stunning
sweet, syrupy caramel note. So it's kind of like a floral gourmand scent. It's beautiful. I've never smelled anything quite like this. I used to kind of compare this to Amoureige because that was the only other perfume that I could compare it to as far as how the florals smell, but it really doesn't smell anything like Amoureige. It's definitely florals, but I've never smelled anything else quite like this, so there really is no comparison. It's kind of like a gourmand floral, but it's sweet, syrupy. It's beautiful. It is an absolute monster. Every time I wear this, like, again, it's a commitment because I'm going to smell like this for 24 hours, which most of my Dreamhouse Acario scents are like that. If I wear them, like, I need to be prepared to smell like that until I wash it off the next day because they're super, super long lasting. This is the other house. Gallagher and Dreamhouse Acario are on the pricier sides, but again, the quality is worth every penny. You're definitely going to get your money's worth. You don't have to spray a ton on. You can get away with a few sprays and you're going to smell like this forever. So anyways, that is Dreamhouse Acario White Rabbit. And then last but not least, this is a fragrance that I wore a bunch when I first got it. I bought this back in the spring, and I wore this like 3 times between like the time that I got it and probably a couple months ago. This is a fragrance from a little indie house on Etsy called Sugar Me Sweet. I need to check because I feel like I don't know, I think somebody said that they have their own website, and it's funny because the person was like, oh, I think they're new. No, I don't think this is a new house because I ordered, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is not a new house. But anyways, this is a fragrance called Cirque du Sucre. I still have not gotten a carded sample or a sample of Cirque du Soleil, which is what this is a dupe of. I saw where FragranceNet has travel sprays of Cirque du Soleil. I've got one in my cart. As soon as I do another FragranceNet order, hopefully it won't be sold out and I'll be able to order it so that I can test it next to this. I love this scent. This is kind of like it's supposed to be, I guess, like a fair kind of scent. It's got apple in it and cotton candy, and I can never really remember the rest of the notes. I just always remember like apple, cotton candy. I'm quite sure it's got some vanilla in the base. It's really, really beautiful and yummy. It's definitely like a gourmand. It is a little bit on the perfumey side. The apple note is very, very prominent in this one. But for being this kind of a scent, like a kind of fair type scent, this thing is an absolute monster. This is one of those fragrances that I can spray it on one time and I am good. I will smell like this for the rest of the day. I will smell like this until I wash it off the next day. It lasts forever on clothing. It's just a super, super long lasting scent. Sugar Me Sweet quickly became one of my favorite like indie houses because they do dupe fragrances, but not a ton of them, just like a few here and there. They make an incredible dupe of the House of Sillage Wonder Woman vanilla fragrance. This one is so good. They're so long lasting. The Wonder Woman fragrance is super, super long lasting as well. And they're always running a sale in their Etsy shop. If you know, depending on how much you spend, you get like a certain percentage off. I think if you buy 6, maybe it's 5 of these, you get like 30% off, which makes these 10 ml travel spray ones like less than $10 a piece. I bought a ton of them. I think I got like 10 of them. I spent over $100. I know that, and $100 well spent because these are crazy, crazy long lasting for the price. So good. So anyways, that is Sugar Me Sweet Cirque du Sucre. And that is going to be it, you guys. Those are 10 fragrances from my collection that are super, super long lasting. Let me know if you guys want like a part 2, because again, most of my fragrances are super long lasting. So if you liked this and you want more, I can definitely do a part 2. I do hope that you all enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.